Hey guys, today I thought I'd share a quick video on how to organise some of your stamping colours or ink colours. Hopefully this will turn out okay. I've got better lighting today. So what I'm going to start with, this is the stamp set I'm going to use. It came with a magazine, but it's a Seven Gypsies cling set. I don't know. Doesn't say what it's called, but it's kind of vintagey and I thought it was cute, so I'm going to use the bird on that. And then I have some of these coin pockets that I just got off Amazon. Super cheap, but you get a pack of, I can't remember if it's 10 or 20 of the sheets, but bear in mind you can use both sides for your colour samples. And then I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to organise these stamp pads. These are my new Stampin' Up! Stamp pads, ink pads, and I've never ever tried Stampin' Up! Before, so I'm super excited. Like a weirdo, but you know. Right, so if I just get this out the way, this is the, I've put these are the sheets, sorry, the what would you call these, the plastic folders. And I've just got them on some book rings, and excuse the state of my nails. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that I got a little inky yesterday, well, over the last couple of days. So and what you'll need is some 2-inch square pieces of cardstock. I just cut these out of regular cheap white cardstock, so there needs to be about 2 inches. And I'll just show you an example of what we're going to do, and then I'll get to it. But basically what you'll have is the name of the colour and then what ink it is underneath. So for now I'm just going to either write on, or I'll use a, where's one that I did? There's one that I did earlier. Like on this one, I actually I used a label maker and just did the little, like stickers, if you like, of the name of the colour and then the company underneath. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see that just about. So those are the ones that I've done myself. These ones at the beginning, these ones that are all lovely and printed. Jennifer Maguire has a free download, so if you check out her website, you know, she's got a load of these that you can just download, and she actually gives you all the markers to where to cut and how to cut them out and that, which is really good. I'm not affiliated with any of the companies that I mentioned, by the way. I like to share, so I want to share the things that I love with you guys. So if I just find there's the empty one. There's another one. Sorry about that. Right, so I've got some cardstock here, and like I say, they're just little 2-inch, and I know you're not going to be able to see that too clearly on here, but hopefully you'll be able to see enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a clear block and my stamp, and like I say, I'm just going to use the little bird. I decided that was a good stamp to have on there, you know, because it's it is solid, but it's got some writing in it, so it'll give a good impression of what it would look like if you had to stamp using a what do you call it, like a silhouette type stamp, which is basically solid image, not fine detail or anything like that. So I'm just gonna start off with this guy. Get him inky, and I'm stamping kind of near the top-ish, just so that it's I've got space underneath the below the image to actually put the label. So it wasn't the best stamping of my life, but you know. And then I've just got a little Stampin' Scrub thing. So I'm just going to to baby white. Baby white works just as well. When in doubt, use your hands. Right, so that's colour number 1. Next colour, just make sure that's dry. Ooh, getting it on me. Lovely. Now you can do this for all your ink. If you, you know, if you have a ton of different colours, sometimes it's hard to sort of, sorry, that noise is me cleaning. Sometimes it's hard when you've got a billion different colours. It's hard to, it's kind of hard, not so much to keep track of them. I mean, if you've got loads of them and you work with different companies, because different inks will do different things. So, you know, like a distress ink will do a completely different thing to, you know, a regular Stampin' Up pad or a Memento, or, you know, any of that sort of thing. They all work differently, even though they're, you know, very cool. Obviously, we're crafters, we love our cool stuff, but they work really, really differently. So it's nice to keep track of the different colours that you have, not just for inking techniques, but for you know, if you suddenly find that, oh, you haven't got a certain colour, even though you thought you may have had it, or there might be, I don't know, you might be shopping one day and you think, oh, I'm not sure I remember whether I have that specific colour, because obviously they all have their own names as well, which is really, really neat, but kind of keeping track of it is, you know, can be a bit difficult. And I think also if you've been sort of lucky enough to make this into a business, then you need to keep track of all the different companies that you know, maybe they sponsor you, or whatever it is, or you work for them. You need to be able to keep track of everything that you have that's from that company. So that's another, you know, reason for doing something like this. And bear in mind, you can do this for anything, not just ink pads. You can do this for watercolour pencils, watercolour crayons, your pastels, your different paint samples. You can do this for anything where you've got colouring medium, your Cosmic Shimmer, what are they called? I've got some of the little watercolour pots, you know, your Perfect Pearls, you know, all the powders, anything like that where it reacts with water, or is an inky medium or a colouring medium. I think it's a good idea just to keep track of all those different things, so that you know where you are and what product you've got, and also that way you know, next time you go shopping, you know what colours you've already got. So that I'm kind of repeating myself. I can hear it. Anyway, so basically, once I've got the names with the labels underneath, they will then, I'll put them into the little pockets, and it will look something like this. So super easy. I can keep track of all the colours I've got. It's easy to see as well. I think when you've got a drawer full of colours, or you've got them stacked, so if you've got your ink pads stacked, you can only see the top one, unless you have them stacked so that you can see, you know, the names of them on the side. This is just an easy reference to see the colours, and also you get to see what that colour looks like when you've stamped it. Obviously different cardstock will react differently, so you'll get a different, what am I trying to say, a different look to the colour depending on the cardstock you use. So on watercolour cardstock you'll get a different look to regular cardstock, to really inexpensive cardstock, to, you know, the different cards and papers will give a slightly different look. But if you know that you use a certain kind of paper, you could use that paper in, you know, in these little blocks. So if you use, I don't know, Nina cardstock, or that's supposed to be quite good, or whatever it is, doesn't matter what cardstock, but if you know that you use a certain type of cardstock, as a general rule, you could use that cardstock in here so you can see exactly what that colour is going to look like. And I would also suggest using a white for at least the majority of them, because it's easier to see them on white as opposed to an off-white or a cream or something like that. So that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to label these guys up and then they'll be put in their little pockets. And these are the, what are these? These are the in colours for 2014 to 16. So I will probably mark somewhere, even if it's the top left here, on one of them to say in colours, and then I'll have the next set of in colours here and so on, and just keep going down. Now don't forget, you can also, with these, you can also pop one in the back so that you can sort of have them double-sided, which I think is what I'm going to land up doing, because here I've got the back of these guys, but really I could move them across there, and that way you save some space with your what's this called with the pockets. The other idea that you could do is at the back of the colour, if you know it's got a matching cardstock, you could put a 2-inch block of cardstock in that same colour at the behind it, so when you flip it over you can see the colour cardstock that goes with it. So yeah, that's it. Really quick and easy way to organise your inks into a little reference guide. Yeah, that's it. See you later. See you later. What is wrong with me? I will be back with another video soon. Bye.